जज्बा इश्क दिल में जगाए हुए अपने सीनों में कुरान बसाए हुए नूर ईमान की मशाल.
I remember when I get a phone call from Afsar Sab Jalsa guy, he said, your name is proposed for a speech. And first thing I said, I don't know if I can do this, right? I mean, this is something that, there's so many wonderful speakers out there, but my name, am I the right person for this as well? I mean, a lot of thoughts came to mind. And the first thing I did at that time was to write a letter to Huzur. Within a few days after, I got another phone call, your name is approved, and you start preparing. And I remember at that time, it hit me even harder at that time, now it gets more real.
Immediately, I started thinking about the speech topic. Firstly, wrote a letter to Huzur Anwar, may Allah be his helper. And then from there, with prayers and with sadaqah and giving charity, started to think about the subject matter, started to research. And some of the very primary things that I relied on initially were the books written by the Khulafa or addresses given and the Friday sermons of the Khulafa. And then thinking about the subject from the perspective of a young person who is growing up in Canada at this very moment. And I believe that bringing all of these things together, this is what creates blessings in any Jalsa speech. So there are so many times in the process of writing a Jalsa speech, I will be confused. I'll be thinking about different incidents, different references that could possibly be included, but it's always most difficult to start a speech. And the reason for this is because you want to grab the audience's attention immediately and then be able to maintain that throughout the speech.
My older son, Ayan, he comes up to me, he's like, let me listen to it. So when I had the whole thing written down, he comes to me, he's like, I don't think it's gonna connect too well. Right? So I actually went back and I started rewriting it again. And I think this was important because the idea and the mindset that I was coming was I wanted to sort of come across as somebody who can connect with members. So I have tried to look at it from that unique perspective.
And so there's a lot of pressure from the moment that a speaker is informed that you have a Jalsa speech this year to the time when you're actually presenting the Jalsa speech. And so I personally feel that the prayers of Huzur Anwar, may Allah be his helper, is something that makes up for all of the shortcomings that I have as a speaker, a writer. This topic is really important because it is on the blessed life and character of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To present that in a manner where people can understand and reflect on the blessed life and the character of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to witness the sheer impact that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had on the world at large. I think that's really important for them to see the status and the honor of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
From the speech, the most important message is obviously Salat is definitely not a burden. It is a blessing. Namaz does not take us away from life. In fact, it gives us a life meaning. It protects us, it guides us, it connects us with Allah Ta'ala. And I want people to remember the question that when they go back home, that how am I going to protect my prayer? How can I incorporate all of this in my life? How can I consider namaz less of a burden and consider more of a blessing?